Kevin, 40 years ago, Cisco was born, AGS from the 80s. Hopefully the technology today doesn't work like this.
Yeah, and I've been here a long time, not quite as long as these things have been around, but when we delivered these, I think they were running at megabits, hundreds of megabits maybe. If you look at what we're building now, we're building devices that are half a petabit of capacity. So we've taken it from barely being able to shove bits through a CPU. I know we had some discussions around how we forwarded packets to these massive ASICs that are tens of terabits, even approaching 100 terabits, and now we can build systems that are almost a petabit of forwarding capacity. It's pretty amazing.
Is that a petabit per second, or what is that?
Yeah, it's a petabit per second, so you start to think about whether you're streaming large amounts of information or moving data from one point to another. The amount of data we can move across fiber cables these days is absolutely amazing.
So what's the fastest fiber cables that we have today in like a huge Cisco router?
Yeah, so if you think about the math, and I can't do all the math in my head of what that petabit turns into, but the fastest speed interfaces on routers today is 800 gigabits per second.
That's
so
crazy.
You can put an 800 gigi port and 36 of those in a slot times 18 slots, which is the largest system, and that's how you get to your half a petabit of capacity.
And what's the distance that you can transmit that? Is like how far away can those routers be from each other?
Actually, that's really cool. So you have routing technologies, these big routers that we build, and then you have optical systems that they connect into. That optical system used to be a massive, massive device.
Yep.
Like anything else, we start to shrink technology down as technologies evolve, and so we can now take what used to be a big transponder that sits in an optical device and pushes those bits across light, across fiber, and we can put it into a pluggable that's about this big.
Wow.
And put it into a router. So every one of those 800 gig ports, you can now put a pluggable in that can drive light 3,000 kilometers, across fiber optic cable across the U.S.
That's mad. I heard that in the past you took a router the size of a football field and down to a pizza box size. Is that correct?
Yeah. So this was in the 80s. In 2004, we launched something called the CRS.
Yep.
I was here at that time. I was part of that launch. It was kind of cool. The big thing about that router was, what would you do with 90 terabits? Because we could build a system that was 90 terabits. That system was 72 7-foot tall chassis all chained together, and it literally would have filled a football field or a massive data center. That entire 90 terabit system, in the next 12 to 18 months, I'll have a single ASIC that can forward the same amount of packets as that 92 terabit system.